Following segment is sponsored by California Prunes and Harvest Books. Cooking and sharing meals with friends and family is scientifically proven to increase happiness. And in these darker, colder winter months, this can be extra important. But having people over and feeding them a delicious dinner can feel a little overwhelming, but it doesn't have to with the help of Natasha Feldman, the author of The Dinner Party Project. Natasha, welcome to the show.
Brooke, thanks for having me.
We are so glad to have you. Yes. Well, I love to entertain. I just don't like it's so overwhelming, but you're able to make this easier for us. How are you doing this?
Yeah, Brooke, it's so interesting that you say that because I feel like when people are used to just like big holidays, you just start to think like big holidays, dinner parties, stressful, too much work, too many dishes, don't want to do it. But if you start to think about dinner parties more as like you said, community, getting together, like staving off loneliness, like communal mental health, the food is secondary. And once you start thinking about it that way, it takes so much of the pressure off. Like I know people who have the best dinner parties and they get takeout. It's really about finding what works for you and working within those parameters and making it easy for yourself. So I brought a few different tips so that like your viewers can start to think about what a dinner party might look like for them. And the first is, I don't know about you, Brooke, but when I walk into someone's house and there's no snacks, I start to feel a little stressed out. Like, when am I going to eat? What's going to happen? Like,
what do I do with my hands? Yes, exactly. What am I supposed to do here?
With my hands? Yes. So having a snack, having something people can put in their mouth, like, kind of interact with, whether it's a bag of pretzels or popcorn or chips, it doesn't matter. But I also have a devil on horseback because I love nostalgic foods and I think they make people kind of like open up and they're whimsical. So devil on horseback, classic 1960s Mad Men appetizer. And just something fun, you can make something if you want, but again, like Salt Lake has tons of like cool small growers of like fun produce, and you also have tons and tons of like snacks. So find stuff that's local, have fun, whatever it is. Just, you want something for, like you said, people's hands to do.
Yes, great way to break that ice. But what about the menu items? What else you got over there?
When it comes to trying to plan your menu, the best thing you can do, especially if you're like you, Brooke, and you're used to the big holidays, just have one dish that's temperature sensitive. So one dish that has to be hot, everything else room temp, because then you're not trying to like do all the math in your head of like, when's this going to be done? When's this going to be done? When am I, and you're so busy. And a stew is great because you can make it the day before, you can make it the day before that. It holds up really, really well, especially if you're utilizing prunes, because the prunes are going to keep it super moist and they break down into the sauce and make it super sweet. So I've paired it with a Moroccan style short rib because like the cinnamon and all the warm spices paired with the sweetness of the prune is just like so satisfying and cozy. And like you said, like warm, colder months, you got to have something cozy.
Yes. It sounds so tasty. Where can we go for more, Natasha?
So good. You go to, you can find me on Instagram at Nosh with Tosh. The book is anywhere books are sold. And for this recipe, you can go on californiaprunes.org.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks, Brooke. So nice to chat.